sometimes you're like,
Some people don't even love their job,
some
but
people
you're
don't even
committed to the
some
job.
people don't even love their job, but they are
Yeah.
committed to the money coming out of the job.
Right.
So you're like,
Right.
when you go into the dealership, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there are certain cars that you see, you're like, oh my god, this car is really nice, right? Like
Mm.
this is beautiful, right?
Yeah.
There's something that attracts you to the car,
Yeah.
and then you now ask the car, how much is this car, and they tell you the price, and you're like,
Hey.
yeah, it's too expensive for me,
Yeah.
right? But obviously, attraction is very important, and I
Yeah.
think that is attraction is like is a whole spectrum. Some people
Mm-hmm.
physical attraction is what for them. Some of them is
Yeah.
like it's
Intellectual.
intellectual
Yeah.
attraction. Some is like quirks, weird quirks. You just find somebody being shy as attractive. Or like some people, I know some people have some weird. Some people just like, oh, this guy is a tall guy, so I'm attracted to tall. Everybody has attraction. Is it beauty in the eye of the beholder? But I think that we can't discount because we all have eyes. Hopefully, we are not blind, but
Yeah.
but we all have eyes, and they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
So I think that attraction bit is very important, but it should not be substituted for
Any of the
those
other. Yeah.
fundamental characteristics.
Mm.
Beauty is fleeting, right? I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at people who were like young and they were beautiful, if you look at them like 40, 30 years after, they're not the same, right?
Yeah. That's
So
true.
things have changed,
That's
but
true.
those foundational characteristics of those
Mm.
people, the person's character,
Yeah.
values,
Yeah.
sometimes values shift, right? but
The core
but the
is still
core
there.
the core is still there, right? So I think people should focus on the core. Somebody who loves God, truly loves God, and they want to make heaven
Mm-hmm.
is important. Somebody who is emotionally mature is
Mm-hmm.
important. Someone who has the same values as you
Mm.
and are committed to those values. Because one thing is to have those values. Some things are I ain't committed to those values too. And I think with any relationship, and again, I would like to mirror with even our relationship with God or our
Right.
siblings. It
Yeah.
takes
Commitment.
real commitment.
Right.
Like waking up to pray is not easy, or reading your Bible is not easy, or going to church, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
not easy, but you're
Mm.
committed to doing it, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with your relationship with your job.
Right.
Sometimes you're like,
Some people don't even love their job,
some
but
people
you're
don't even
committed to the
some
job.
people don't even love their job, but they are
Yeah.
committed to the money coming out of the job.
Right.
So you're like,
Right.
you wake up and you're like, this job, man, I have to go there, but you still have to go. So that's
Yeah.
commitment.
Yeah.
So somebody who is committed to the values that you have,
Mm.
and I think that's key. Commitment to those values, whatever those values are. If it's like raising a godly home, if it's
Mm.
like no divorce,
Right.
right? We're going to make this work
Yeah.
regardless. If it's
Yeah.
like some
Abstinence.
exactly those things.
Yeah.
Someone who's committed to that and would help you also stay committed to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me those are like the top three things. There are other things, but for me those three I think are foundational.
Hi, everybody. So sorry to pause your video abruptly. I just wanted to say that if you are seeing this video, this is the part 2 of the video. I have a part 1 where we started off this conversation. It's a really interesting conversation, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on any of it. So if you haven't seen part 1, please pause this video, go watch part 1. A link is going to be in the description box, and then you can come back and catch up with us on this part 2. If you haven't joined already, please join the conversation. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on godly relationships and relationships in general. If you have learned anything from this video, please don't forget to share it with somebody else. Also, like, and if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Now would be a good time to subscribe so you never miss out on any of the future conversations we would have on this channel. All right, guys, let's get back to today's video. Enjoy. Okay, so one last question before we go. One thing that I know that a lot of women struggle with is the fact that they meet men that are eligible bachelors, and for some reason, those men are not willing to commit, right? So,
issue.
yeah, let's talk about that because that's a big one. What is it that is preventing, I guess, men from committing nowadays? What is it that is so scary about marriage that people don't want to commit? Or is it just that they are not finding the people that they want or share those values with? Because if these are the important top three things, it should be easy to find a woman that has she's godly, she's intelligent emotionally, she has values. So what is it that is really preventing men from committing if you have a woman that has all these things?
That's a loaded question. But that's a good question. I think I would try to diagnose it from two different lenses.
Okay.
The first one could be that they've not really found a person that has those things. In terms of like, those are like core things. But you might find, let me give you like, you might find somebody who has all those things, but you're not attracted to the person,
Right.
right? So
Okay.
the question will be like, am I willing to compromise not being attracted to this person for this core thing?
Yeah.
Or you could say the person has, I'm attracted
That's
to,
that's why when I talked about the list, I said non-negotiables.
yeah,
So there are things that are core that are non-negotiables, but you might have to, compromise on the ones that are negotiables.
yeah,
Like attraction could be one of those
exactly,
negotiables.
exactly. So
Yeah.
you ask yourself, is it a negotiable for me or is it
Mhm.
non-negotiable? The same way
Right.
you find some ladies will say that like, they cannot date a guy or marry a guy that's like shorter than them. For
Mhm.
them, the person might have all these other values, but
Mhm.
height might be a non-negotiable
Negotiable
for
for
them,
them. Right.
right? Or you might find somebody who is a great guy, has all of these things, but they
Mhm.
say, if the person is not like, if the person is not swimming in money, I'm joking. They're like, no, right? So there
Yeah.
might be like status or like what he does, for
Right.
example,
Right.
could be like, a non-negotiable for them. Everybody has their non-negotiable. So from that perspective, yes, it might be that they've found people who are great, but
Mhm.
there's one thing that is non-negotiable that is lacking in
Mm.
those people
Mhm.
that prevents them from committing.
Right.
Another lens is that, so okay, so going back to that first lens means they've not really met the
They've not
person
met the person that has
that
everything.
ticks all those
Right.
core non-negotiable
Yeah.
boxes for them.
Yep.
That's one.
Mhm.
Another thing could be influences from
External
external
influence.
influences.
Mm.
I think one of the goods goods and bads of good and bads like, pros and cons of social media is that it has allowed the dissemination of information to be easier and
Right.
more widespread,
Right.
but also it has allowed the
Comparison.
dissemination of misinformation
Oh, okay.
to be much easier as well.
Yeah.
So the core idea is information.
Yeah.
The problem is what type of information.
Mm.
Is it positive or is it
Mhm.
negative, right?
Right.
And and again, the algorithm feeds or pushes those
Mhm.
narratives that confirm your biases, right?
Mm.
Or sh- frames or structures how you think,
Shapes your
shapes
mind.
your shapes your
Thinking.
thinking, right?
Right.
So for people who are hearing negative like
Things
stories and
about
saying, oh,
relationships and
uh
marriages.
women these days they are only interested in your money, or women
Mm.
these days are gold diggers,
Mm.
look at the divorce rates. So
Mm.
those negative things kind of affect how people how these men think. So
Think.
for them, it's
And
some,
vice versa.
and vice versa. Exactly, it's not just the guys, it's the
Yeah.
girls too. That kind of shapes their thought process
Right.
and scares them. So you speak to some people and all they tell you is negative things.
Mm.
Like from the women will say, all men cheat, or men are scum, blah 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 blah. That's not
Mm.
true. Committing to that fear or the person is something
Mm.
that scares them, because they're like, oh my, why would I want to like commit
Yeah.
to somebody who is going to
Cheat on
cheat
me.
on me or is going
Yeah.
to divorce me and take half of my stuff, right? So
Yeah.
So those are at least from my perspective,
Yeah.
those are the two lenses I kind of see why people. But again, and let me just throw in a third one. It could also be that there are things from their past, from their
Mm.
childhood, from their
Mm.
past experiences,
Childhood trauma.
that's planted fear in them,
Yeah.
and which also feeds to like the first one, the
Yeah.
second one I said with like
Yeah.
the negative information. So
Right.
that also holds them back.
So the last part that you talked about childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
There are people who have like, I mean, I've been reading a lot about like attachment styles now, right? And it's formed from like our childhood or like experiences from like our past or like growing up, caregiver and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So there are people who have, or yeah, who have those kind of experiences that have shaped who they are or how they show up in relationships,
Mm.
or their attachment styles, as it were, right? And sometimes it manifests in relationships which could be detrimental to those
And it
relationships.
fits off on the first one you mentioned.
Yes, exactly. Um so for those people, right, they might be non-committal,
Mm.
right? So because they have to address those foundational, s- patterns
Issues.
that they have
Yeah.
and heal from them, or at least have the self-awareness to
Mm.
start working
On them.
on them before being in a relationship. So for example, someone who is, for example, an avoid like a dismissive avoidance, right?
Mm-hmm.
That person may not want to commit to a long-term relationship because it's scary territory for the person, right?
Okay, that
so
makes
so
sense.
so those also could be contributors to people who have like commitment issues, right? So
Right.
I think self-awareness, like steps forward,
Mm-hmm.
self-awareness is like very important. You must be self-aware of what attachment style you have. You must be self-aware
And working towards
and working towards
healing from childhood trauma.
healing from childhood trauma, and or addressing them. Because again, you are going to go in a relationship with someone from a total different background,
Right.
life
That on its
experiences.
own is like a lot.
Yeah, so
Right.
you must be whole, you must be
Right.
healed, you must be whole.
Right.
The other person must take the conscious effort to be healed and whole, and two
Right.
of you come together
Right.
and you guys become 10x,
Right.
right?
So good.
Yeah.
So good. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. This is a conversation that I feel like we cannot have in one sitting. So we definitely would love to bring you back and talk a little bit more about this. If you have any questions, please leave your questions in the comment section. If this episode stood out to you in any way, please let us know in the comment section. We'd like to get your feedback. Thank you so much, Tim, for coming.
For sure.
It was so good to have you. And I feel like some of the conversations that we have, like outside, it
Yeah.
like in private,
Yeah.
is just really nice to talk about it so other people can learn from it. So thank you so much for this.
Very welcome. I mean, it's I'm your biggest fan from the conception of this YouTube channel till now.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm
definitely are.
I'm always happy to come and share the little wisdom that I have, in my semi old age. I'm joking.
Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
guys so much for joining us. Until the next video, I love you guys and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.